Hi, wrestling fans. This is Mad Matt Carter along with AIWF Hall of Famer Brian Danzig, telling you and reminding you about the most awesome, at least we think so, wrestling podcast there is. It's AIWF Ringside Wrestling, and it comes your way on all your favorite podcasting platforms. Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, just to name a few. Brian, they can also see it on YouTube, but the cool thing about our podcast, it's completely live and interactive every Sunday night on Facebook.
Yeah, it certainly is, and we get into all the news of AIWF, WWE, TNA, all of it. We don't just cover AIWF. We cover the whole spectrum of wrestling. You can comment. You can put comments in there. We'll answer your questions. It's a great time, and most of the time we're talking about wrestling. Sometimes it goes off the rails, and that's just that. Sometimes that's even more entertaining.
Yeah, that's part of the charm, I guess, of the show, right? So be sure to tune in anywhere you find your favorite podcast on the AIWF Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel, and of course on Facebook live on Sunday night for the most interactive wrestling podcast in the United States. It's AIWF Ringside Wrestling.
Next thing I had in line was these record-breaking crowds that WWE has been having here lately. Let's see here if you guys can see this. I'm back to the slideshow. Can y'all see it?
Yes.
This is from Salt Lake City, Utah. They were completely sold out, just as Charlotte was this past Friday night. As we head toward Elimination Chamber, Dominic Mysterio took on Kevin Owens in a qualifying match for the Elimination Chamber. It was okay. Dominic needs to give up on the 619. He's too big. He can't hit it like his dad. R-Truth came out to the ring. Dominic tried to tell him that if he gave him that chair that he would be back in the Judgment Day. R-Truth didn't buy it. Pop-up powerbomb, 1, 2, 3. Kevin Phoenix wins it. And there's Charles Robinson, the ageless man.
Not Kevin Phoenix, Kevin Owens.
Did I say Kevin Phoenix?
You did say Kevin Phoenix.
Oh, wow.
I can't tell them apart sometime either.
Kevin looked like he hadn't been tanning as much.
So.
I put this in here. Selena Vega had no business getting in the ring with Tiffy time. Tiffany's too big, too strong, too fast, but they had a decent match, but Selena was distracted by the Latino World Order, El Dato Fantasma, whatever that other group's name is. And anyway, but like I had thought for the last few times I saw Tiffany Stratton do this moonsault that she was missing and not hitting it square, but she actually calls it the most beautiful moonsault ever. And her intention is to drive her knees into the midsection of her opponent. And so she is hitting it square. It just looked funny to me, but I mean, very effective. And then here's a shot of a group that I'm not very impressed with their in-ring skills, but Paul Ellering, because I'm old, is very cool to me. And it's good to see him back on. I mean, look, he's 80 years old and he still looks like he is ready to fight.
80 years old? Seriously? Or you being facetious?
I think he's pushing 80. Last time I checked. Let me get on my Google machine.
You keep talking, I'll get on the Google machine.
All right. So he's with AOP. They're back, and Karrion Kross, and they're trying to save Karrion Kross and his lady. I can't remember her name.
Bordeaux.
70. He's 70.
He's 70. He still looks
great.
Still
looks damn good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And for those
Well,
of you.
I'm telling you, remember I said I watched his debut, and I've been watching him some in Memphis in like 80s, 80, 81. And his arms made Hulk Hogan look like spaghetti noodles.
Yes.
God,
He was massive back then.
Even when he was the manager, or even when he was
wrestling. That's when he was wrestling.
Manager, he was huge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, it's important.
Good shape, yeah.
It's important to remember for our younger viewers who might not recognize Paul Ellering. He was a wrestler in the late 70s and early 80s, but he had a neck injury or spinal injury that ended his career. But then he got hooked up with Hawk and Animal, the LOD, and took them to new heights. They dominated the AWA, dominated the NWA, Crockett Promotions, dominated WCW, went to the WWF, won titles there. I mean, he's done it all. So they have brought him in with AOP to try to save this group right here, but Rick Diesel, they wrestled, AOP wrestled a couple of guys from NXT on SmackDown, and I have to say, even though I'm in these guys' corner and I'm pulling for them, it ain't looking good, man. It really
I think they got them in there because of their look. I think this is one of those times where WWE is focused more on the gimmick than they are the talent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you said Karrion Kross is in this faction.
Yeah, there he is, right there.
Which is, you know, like I watched Karrion Kross when he wasn't in the WWE, and he was really like, his character was good, like he was, but it just seems like they're underutilized, or either that or they just don't know what to do with him.
I think that's what it is, because when he was in NXT and he was still bald,
he was.
Who's the Raven Psycho? Oh man, he was scary. You know, and then he got let go when Vince did all those cuts coming out of the pandemic, you know, one of the waves of cuts. And as soon as Triple H got back in, they brought him back. But he just really hadn't done much so far. I'm hoping
he looked better bald. He was more menacing when he was bald.
Yeah. And I saw on Twitter, Karrion Kross, little known fact, he does a mean Jesse the Body Ventura impersonation. I mean, he sounds just like Jesse when he flips it on. It's hilarious. Also, Logan Paul took on The Miz. This was Logan Paul's first regular televised match, not a PLE. And The Miz played a big part in training Logan. And let me just say, they laid it in on this match. If you have not seen it, I would encourage you to go back and see it. Miz had a bloody lip. They really went at it. It was a hell of a match. Logan Paul ended up winning and going on to he'll be in the Elimination Chamber. All of you Steiner Brothers fans from back in the day, this should have made you happy. Nick Aldis signed Braun Breaker to a contract for SmackDown. Only problem is he and Baron Corbin won the NXT Tag Team title on Tuesday night from the Italian guys, so from the family. And so that's probably going to cause a little friction there. I don't know. We'll see. You know, we'll just wait over the week.
I'm glad to see him get put on, you know, the brands, because, or whatever you call, however you refer to them, because I was really impressed with his WrestleMania, not WrestleMania, I'm sorry, his Rumble debut. Like, he came in and he cleared house, and you could tell you could tell he was ready. Like, he was ready to be on the main stage. So I'm really hoping to see some really good things out of him, and hope he doesn't have, you know, there are some wrestlers who are like second and third generations on there, but it has been very hard for several second generation guys to go in and do their own thing and make it. And so I really hope he goes far.
Oh, I think he will. I thought he was ready a year ago, but I think that them holding him back one more year has only made him better. And if you have not seen it yet, go back and watch the last NXT TakeOver, where him and Baron Corbin won the Dusty Classic Tag Team Tournament, and they come out to the ring on motorcycles, and tell me if that is not one of the most badass ring entrances. And I've seen motorcycle entrances before, but just the way that one was executed and the way it looked was so cool. It was fantastic. So wrapping up SmackDown coverage, of course, Roman Reigns and the Bloodline come to the ring to address things going on, and Triple H's comments about running things. They introduced The Rock as the new member of the Bloodline. I don't have any more photos. That was all they had on WWE.com.